What's going on, guys? So this is the truck that's for sale. It's 2017 T680 with a 13 Speed Eaton. Does have a front air ride. The aluminum stuff that was on the steps and the grill is blacked out, and the wheels are they're not dipped, they're actually powder coated. And then as far as what I use for spray on the grill and on the steps is actually rhino liner. Same stuff that you would put in your in the bed of your pickup truck, stuff like that. Does have a tri-pack Evolution APU, works amazing. Saves quite a bit of money on fuel too. Drive tires are probably 98% Virgin Toyos. I do have the air caps for the rears, and I think they call those just aero mud flaps. You know, every little thing has helped you guys, especially nowadays with as expensive as fuel is. Chassis is still in good shape. I didn't want to paint it for that particular reason because I wanted to see the potential buyer as is, and not with lipstick on, so to speak. I do apologize. The truck is a little filthy. It was snowing on the way here to Chicago from Detroit, and they had put some salt on the ground. So my apologies about that. As far as the engine is concerned, so this is a Paccar MX13, but it is the 510 horsepower, 1850 torque. The truck, I did mention it has got a front air ride system. So it's pretty much the airbag single leaf. That's just the air line that goes up to the other side, and I'll show you what the connection on the other side looks like. The truck just went in for a brand new head gasket, injectors, and all that good stuff. Quite a bit of money. But I thought it needed a head gasket, but when we pulled the head gasket out, we saw the head was cracked. So I had them replace that as well. I didn't want to just put a head gasket on it and try to sell it. That's not right. And the reason why I'm selling the truck is I'm making a career change. I'm just moving from trucking altogether. I really do actually like this truck. For those that have followed the channel for a long time, they know that I don't like newer trucks and the newer technology. But this thing's actually been pretty good to me. Fuel mileage is pretty good. Wintertime, it's anywhere between 7.5 to 8. Summertime, it's been 8 to 10, believe it or not. The fuel loads that I had where I was a little bit lighter than usual, it was between 9 and 10. It was like 9.5, 9.8 constantly. But usually what I have is I go from Chicago or from Detroit to Chicago and Chicago to back to Detroit. I come here with about 43,000 pounds, 44,000 pounds sometimes, and I typically go back with anywhere between 20 to 35,000 pounds. But the times where it was high, it was probably about 25,000 pounds out here to Chicago, and maybe another 20,000 pounds going back to Detroit. So it wasn't max capacity or anything like that. Engine is very, very clean. It's got 0 leaks. The oil change was also just done when they did the head. And you can see the head a little bit more clearly on the other side. The turbo has been changed before, so nothing to worry about that. And those suckers are pretty expensive. And then here's the other airbag, and this is the actual module for the airbag. So this is just the air dump. This is the air supply that comes from the tanks, and then this and this are what actually goes to the right airbag and the left airbag. And then you can see the head is a brand spanky new head. The harness and all that stuff has been changed as well, so nothing to worry about that either. Front tires are probably about 50 to 60%, still in pretty good shape. And same thing with this other one. And these are Brickstones. As There's really nothing that I can, you know, think about the truck that needs anything. It literally is, you know, turn the key, put a driver in it, and go to work. You don't have to do a damn thing to this thing. The brakes are good. They're disc brakes all around. They're probably about 70% left life in it. I have done the pads once. But as far as anything else, nothing that comes to mind right now. But if something comes to mind, you know, I'll post it, you know, in the later part of the video. But let me start this thing. Now I did get the Chicago, so the engine is warm. It's not a cold start or anything like that, but it's got no issues. Oh, that's the thing. The door cracks on this when you open up. This door stopper here, every single one of these or the Pete 579s has that issue. Let me start this thing. So the warnings are because I dumped the airbags and the door is open, so there's no check engine light or anything on the dash at all. And these things are very, very quiet. The only thing you hear right now is the compressor working. The engine is actually very, very quiet. As soon as the compressor shut off, so as far as the inside, the dash is wrapped with like a bronze satin metallic, and the floor is a hardwood floor. So it's just a snap-on. It's not like a true hardwood glue-on floor or anything like that. It's not one piece. Just a snap-on that you would do. Same thing for a house. Everything will go with the truck apart from, obviously, my personal belongings and the iPad. That's just my lunchbox back there. But obviously, I don't stay in the truck with shoes on. It does have the VIT interior. Double bunk. And it does have the full gauge package. Like I said, a 13-speed manual. The clutch has been done before, just really don't know when. Still, you know, still very good. So the air ride on this, I actually hooked it up just so it looked factory to just a cruise control switch. So on and off is what actually, you know, powers up the, or that's what gives power to the switch. And then this is the actual pressure gauge for the front air ride. So the way this works is you just up and down. Depending on if I'm running bobtail, you know, empty, a little bit of weight, or loaded and fully fueled, that's what kind of dictates the pressure. But the one thing that I have it set up as is if you're driving and the steering wheel is you know, a little bit to the left, you bump that up a little bit, or if it's to the right, you know, bump that down just a little bit. But typically it's 70 to about 85 is the working range between you know, light load and heavy load and fully fueled. Bobtail, it's probably about 57 to 60, depending if you're fully fueled or not. Another thing that I forgot to mention is the truck does have dual revolution lights. It's got 4 up top, so 1 on each side above the driver and above the passenger, and then 2 in the center. And it's got 3, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and then 1 in the center underneath. So the first switch is up, the second switch is down, just on the red side. And then this one, the first switch is up, but on the purple, and then the second switch is down. that's just a little something that I left. The CB radio will go with the truck. And I mean, obviously, you know, I'm biased, and you know, anybody selling their stuff is going to say that, oh, this is the best thing. Obviously, it's a used truck. It's got, you know, some paint wear. The front bumper I actually had repainted because just rock chips everywhere, and they're still beginning to, you know, show a little bit, but it is a lot better than what it was before. Before it was just peeling. You know, obviously the rest of the paint, it's a working truck. You know, it's got, you know, light scratches and stuff like that, but it's nothing crazy. The interior is in really good shape. I mean, you guys can see on your own. It's probably like a 9.5 out of 10. For you that have, you know, known me and known the trucks that I've built, you guys know how picky I am, and you know how I take care of my stuff. So the steering wheel, so this thing did have the steering wheel with the controls on the wheel itself, and I wanted an aftermarket one. This is actually recent, this retro 20-inch. Before I used to run either a 16 or a 14-inch. But anyway, I relocated the controls that were on the steering wheel over here on the column. So the radio controls and stuff are on this side, and then I just put the bandana up because, you know, just to decorate, so to speak. And then these are the cruise controls on this side. So I don't really need to see it. I know where they are, so turning it on and off, and then, you know, setting it and bumping it up and down and so forth. That's just something I did myself. I couldn't really stand the factory wheel, and then the city horn button is on the side here. So the seats, like the passenger seat, does have just a little bit of wear here, but it's in really good shape. And then the driver's seat, it just got, you know, a little wear just from my fat ass sitting. You know, but the leather is still good, no rips or anything like that. The armrest, this thing for whatever reason didn't come with one. I went to Kenworth and ordered them based on the VIN number, but they gave me these cheapo black ones instead of the ones that were color matching. And those, I wanted to say something else, but they were not cheap. I was extremely pissed and disappointed when I actually saw just the regular basic ones for the $300 that they charged me, or three, whatever the hell it was, 3 something. The bronze wrap, I also wrapped the wood that was here on the other side where the AC vents are, on the other door obviously, and then up here the same way. I just wanted to kind of everything to match, you know, not this thing being one way and then the rest of it being one way. I tried having purple before and I ran it for a while, just didn't jive with just my eye. I figured purple would look good because of the truck is purple, but you know, just with the color combo in here, it just didn't fit. So I took that out and did that way. But obviously you still got to have a little bit of purple, you know, with the truck. So that's why the bandana on the column and then wrap on the shifter itself. The isolated bushing on the shifter, I did change, and then the seal around the top of the transmission where the shift lever goes on top. I changed that seal when I took this out to change that bushing. I just didn't want to put the old one back on. Transmission oil has been changed. The differential oils have been changed, all with full synthetic. And on the truck itself, I run Chevron full synthetic. The oil on this thing is probably about 2,000 miles old now, and it's still clean. It actually stays very clean for quite a while. It's a very clean running engine. It's got plenty of power. Low down or you know, high up, I'm actually very impressed with it. As skeptical as I was initially, but I had only driven the I think it's the 400 or 430. I can't remember exactly the horsepower rating, but I've driven the lesser one. I had never drove the Paccar with a 510 and 1850 torque, so makes a huge difference. And as far as the turbos are concerned, the gentleman that reached out to me, that was a second owner, he reached out to me on Instagram, and he changed the turbo and the def pump. and it wasn't too long ago. Probably, I mean, you could see the turbo from the video when I did the engine. It's practically still brand new. Truck's located in the Detroit area. If you want to take a peek at it, probably the best way to get a hold of me is my Instagram page, which is the same as Truck and Passion, and or the link is also on my Instagram page as far as the posting itself for the truck. So something you want to look at, or if you have any questions about the truck, just hit me up there, and we'll talk. I'll answer any questions you guys may have. But nothing else comes to mind as far as any little quirks or anything like that on the truck. Anyway, the reason for me getting the truck, I kind of touched on it a little bit before the beginning of the video. So I'm actually getting out of trucking. I am making actually a career change. Can't really talk about the career too much now, since it's not done yet, so to speak. I'm a little superstitious. Some of you may think it's a little silly, but it is what it is. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna get out of trucking altogether. That's why I'm getting rid of it. Not buying a truck or anything like that after this. Maybe in the future, who knows? But nothing in the nothing in the 5-year distance. It's just not going to be an option between the career path that I'm going to choose and how busy I'm going to be, especially for the first few years. But it's definitely something that I'm going to miss. For those that have watched the channel, you guys know how much passion I put into this particular job and the trucks that I've had and what I've done with them. It's not a perfect truck by any means. If you're looking for perfection, this is definitely not the truck for you. But it's a very, very good running truck. It's very well maintained, and like I said earlier in the video, it literally needs a driver behind the wheel, and that's it. Needs nothing to go to work. It's not like you're going to a dealership, you're buying a truck with recaps, this, that, the other. You got to start doing this shit and that shit, and before you can get it on the road, you're up a few more thousand on it, and at least a few weeks, a couple of weeks to 2-3 weeks down. So don't have to worry about that with this thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're interested, please hit me up on my Instagram. I'll put the link below in the description, along with the price. The asking price is $62,000. The truck has 671,000 and a little bit of change. I'm sure you saw that on the dash. And as far as the head, it's got a year warranty. And today is January 8th. It has another, I think 82 days or something warranty for parts and labor. So if something happens to that, within 90 days of it being picked up, which, like I said, it's like 82 days now left, they'll take care of it, no matter what it is, and they'll take care of the parts and the labor. But after that, it's parts only for the year, unlimited miles.